Hello everyone, back tuning in today's first video, doing weekend forecast for today's first video. As always on a Saturday, having a detailed look at the weather for the weekend. Later on, we are going to have the CFS 6 months lookout. That'll be coming up this evening. That takes us from next month, February, right way through into the summer. But it's just for fun and just see what the model is showing. So come back to that tonight. But this is going to have a look at weather week ahead. Going to be a lot of quiet weather coming up this week. Loads of high pressure dominate. I think you have a lot of cloud as well. Those easterlies that we looked like we could pull in a couple of days ago have been reduced. We are going to pull in some colder air to the south later in the week, but we're certainly not looking at anything overly cold for the south now. And actually in the north, it's going to be a fairly mild week up there, to be honest, until later on when it may get a little bit cooler even up there. So I'll go with detail for you in a moment. It's not going to be the most exciting of weekend forecasts to say the least, but I'll get on with it in a second. Before I go on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on the pages. If you have a browse, which is click through links, coming to the page website. Thanks so much to you, Matt. The websites we're using for weekend forecast coming from the weatheroutlook.com and weathercentral.de. You can find a link to both those websites on the links page. So this is the latest radar picture, and we can see that we've got some wintry showers here across eastern Scotland. Also, a line of showers has developed through the morning, through the Cheshire Gap, running down through the Midlands and going south-east England, come further south-east than was anticipated. There's been a little bit of sleet with some of those showers, but they are clearing away, or they will be clearing away to the south-east, of course, this afternoon, with drier weather and probably bright weather following on behind showers out in the west. Here's today's Arctic pressure chart, and high pressure is down to the southwest of us. We've still got the legacy of the cold air that established on Thursday and Friday, but it is starting to turn a little bit less cold from the Atlantic now, especially into the west. East areas are going to stay quite cold through the weekend, however. So for the rest of today, we've got those showers in the southeast. They'll be clearing away through this afternoon. It should turn a bit brighter across England and Wales. A few wintry showers running down the east coast, and rain showers likely in the west, and then later towards evening some more persistent rain arriving across parts of Ireland. Temperature's quite cold today at around 4 or 5 degrees, although parts of southwest England and Ireland will see temperatures going up to around 7 or 8 by the end of the day. Overnight tonight, we're going to find a widespread frost setting in across the northern and eastern parts of the country this evening. Temperature going down to -2 or -3 degrees. And then we'll find cloud and rain gathering in the west, and that cloud and shower rain will spread across the country overnight tonight. And as that runs into cold air through parts of north-east England, Lincolnshire, down into East Anglia, possibly the East Midlands, it could give a little bit of sleet and wet snow through the end of the night. There might, on higher ground, be a slight covering across parts of south-eastern England by morning, just around 1 or 2 centimetres, nothing to get excited about, but a little bit of snow possible in the east in the second half of the night. Cold there. Temperatures after that widespread frost will only recover to around freezing or +1 by morning. There could be ice as well in the east. In the west, it will be milder though. Temperatures there continue to pick up through the night, finishing up at around 8 or 9 degrees across parts of Ireland and western Scotland. So, sunny, looks a very grim day, really. We've got a weather front stuck across the country, a little area of low pressure down to the southeast as well, and then pressures rising from the west. Excuse me. So, for western parts of the country, I think it will brighten up after a cloudy, damp start. Across parts of Ireland and southwest England, we may bring some sunshine through. But the bulk of the country is going to be cloudy and wet with rain on and off all day through the course of sunny. Much of it will be light, a few heavier bursts mixed in. We'll have sleet and snow across parts of Lincolnshire, East Anglia and South East England first thing in the morning, turning increasingly to light rain and drizzle through the course of the afternoon. What we could also find on Sunday, so we get a lot of mist and low clouds starting to develop, probably fog over hills as well. So a pretty unpleasant day, to be honest. Temperatures will be recovering for most of us. We'll go up to around 5, 6 or 7 degrees. Parts of Ireland and western Scotland up to around 10 degrees. But eastern England, particularly East Anglia, South East England, can stay cold. Just 2 or 3 degrees there, the mild air never really getting through. We get through into Monday, and then high pressures building across the country. We'll have that weak weather front still stuck across central parts of the country on Monday morning. It'll gradually drift further westwards again through the day, just taking a lot of cloud, a little bits and pieces of rain and drizzle out towards the west, and then brighter skies will start to push in towards the east and the southeast. Most places will be cloudy on Monday, but it will brighten up in the east and the southeast. Going to turn quite cold again there, or stay quite cold I should say. Temperatures around 3 or 4 degrees. In the north and west it will be milder, with temperatures widely going up 7 to 10 degrees across much of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Into Tuesday, high pressure is dominating. Now, instead of getting this high pressure up to Scandinavia, as it looked like we would do a couple of days ago, the high pressure really is just centering through central parts of Europe. It's enough to bring, because Europe is frozen at this point and through the second half of the week, will be enough to bring some colder air into the south and southeast. But you see that the proper easterly winds are actually going down into southern parts of Europe on the southern side of that area of high pressure. So, excuse me again, I think what we're looking at for Tuesday is a lot of dry weather across the country. North and west will always have more cloud, but best of the sunshine, bright spells will be in the southeast. Temperatures will be cold in the southeast at around 4 or 5 degrees at best. In the north and west, going to be significantly milder with temperatures there 7 to 10. We probably bring a weak front in across the country on Wednesday, so that will increase the cloud, even across England and Wales. A lot of dry weather, but generally quite cloudy. Temperatures will be a little bit less cold in the south at around 6-7 degrees. In the north and west, still mild at around 9 or 10. Through to Thursday, we start to bring colder air back in off the continent again for southern parts of the country. So, probably starting off with a lot of cloud, keeping a lot of cloud through Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England. But the rest of England and Wales, after that dull start, will probably find brighter skies moving back in from off the continent. And as those bright skies come in, temperatures will turn colder. So, maximum temperatures in the southeast on Thursday, probably just 3 or 4 degrees. In the north and west, so still up to around 9 or 10, particularly for western Scotland and Northern Ireland. Loads of dry weather as well. Friday is dominated by high pressure, so the quiet weather continues almost universally dry. Those brighter skies that we had across England and Wales on Thursday will spread northwards to Scotland and Northern Ireland. So could be quite a decent amount of sunshine around at the end of the week, but it will be turning colder. There'll be hard overnight frost across England and Wales. Temperatures by day, probably just 2 or 3 degrees at best in the south or the southeast. So turning colder still at the end of the week, but not a real push from the east. And then into next weekend, those cold conditions stay with us. A very cold day on Saturday with a hard frost early and late. And then as we go through into Sunday, we might find a weather system moving down from the north, bringing some rain to Scotland, followed by colder air from the north. So we might begin to get some northerly, northeasterly winds into Scotland next weekend, bringing some snow showers to them. For England and Wales, just dry, very frosty conditions, especially night and morning, with sunny spells by day. Overall, it does look colder towards the end of the week and the weekend, but the detail, I think, is to be determined. Finally, having a look at charts from Weather Outlook. So here we go for today. Lots of dry weather. We have got those showers running through the Cheshire Gap in towards the southeast of England. Going through to tonight, we find rain spreading in across the country, and that could give a little bit of snow in the east and southeast as it runs into those cold temperatures. Lots of dull, damp weather through the course of Sunday. A really dreary and grim day. Staying cold in the extreme southeast, but most places looking milder. Moving through into Monday, that weather front will be pushing back westwards again, introducing colder air from the east and some sunny spells as well. Then the rest of the week just has lots and lots of dry weather, really. The south and the east will always get the coldest of the weather. The north and west will always be mildish. So as we go through towards the end of the week, I think it turns colder more widely. As the air comes in off the continent, we'll find hard overnight frost. And at temperatures by day, I mean, for the southeast, we're only at 3 degrees there. So some places will be probably struggling to get much above freezing in the southeast by the end of the week, with hard overnight frost. The north and west, after a milder start to the week, will begin to turn colder later as well. Loads of dry weather. So, in summary, well, we're going to be turning a little bit milder tomorrow after a cold start. to the weekend. Going to turn a bit milder tomorrow. There'll be outbreaks of rain. Rest of the week, though, going to have lots of dry weather. Always coldest conditions in the south and the east, and those colder conditions will gradually spread northwards and westwards towards the end of the week. But actually, for Scotland and Northern Ireland, going to be mostly mild until around Thursday or Friday. That's all for now. Come back later on for CFS 6 Months Bookhead. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.